In this episode, we will be discussing painting a rental property. In most jurisdictions, except for maybe a few local ordinances, landlords are not required to repaint the unit between tenants or even after several tenancies have passed. In fact, only New York City has the reputation for requiring a unit in a multi-unit dwelling of 3 or more units to be repainted once every 3 years, especially in a rent-stabilized apartment. But it's seldom enforced to where the landlord faces any significant penalty other than ultimately having to repaint either weeks or months later. Unfortunately for tenants, it's much easier for the landlord to flip a situation around by claiming the unit became unsanitary during tenancy. If this should happen, the landlord may then enforce repainting requirements against the tenant by withholding the security deposit if the walls should become unsanitary during tenancy. So either the tenant has to repaint or allow the landlord to deduct the cost of the painting from the security. If there happens to be proper evidence, the tenant may challenge the deduction by filing a small claims dispute with the appropriate court. It's important to note, though, that there's nothing that attracts a tenant better than a fresh coat of paint when they walk into a unit for the first time. So typically it's the landlord that picks up this expense, despite there not being a legal requirement in most jurisdictions.